Clark up front. That's where the game will likely be won or lost in this one.
Great talent, no doubt, on the front lines here. But if for some reason they cancel each other out, then you know where it's going to be decided, in the backcourt with guys about your size, Kevin.
Now, wait a minute. Now a look at Philadelphia's starting lineup. The tall lineup out there for the 76ers. Simmons, Richardson, Harris, Horford, and Embiid. Richardson, and a slam dunk by Richardson.
You got to recognize Simmons is a pass-first guy, which is why you can't leave somebody open around him.
Fultz kicks to Gordon. Passes it to Fournier. Pass to Fultz. Left Trey. Rebound by the 76ers. Outside, Simmons. We're about 1 minute into the first. Pass to Harris. 6 on the shot clock. Embiid wide open. Nails the wide open jump shot.
Boy, such a fluid shooting motion from Embiid. I mean, most times you just assume that his jumper is dropping.
Now here's Fultz. Guarded by Simmons. Vucevic trying to get open. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you know, with that size difference, that's not an easy shot. I mean, I don't care how close to the rim he is. That's a tough shot.
Now here is Harris. Simmons on the wing. Over Fultz. They get it again. Uses the glass to finish the layup. Embiid's got his second basket of the night.
Boy, proving to be a handful once again, guys. Embiid, so tough to keep off the glass because of his agility and size.
Isaac misses. 76ers have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Harris passes to Richardson. Back to Harris. Vucevic with the rebound.
Tell you what, guys, you don't see that often. I mean, when he's this open, usually it's lights out.
And there's been some turnover in the Philly front office, but through it all, some bold moves.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, guys. First, the process, and we heard a lot about that as they were stockpiling draft picks and losing a lot of games. It was maybe the most drastic rebuild in NBA history, at least as I can recall. Then new leadership in Elton Brand, who's done an outstanding job pushing all their chips into the middle to go for it. Great credit to him for not sitting back. In both cases, a plan and a direction, and that's what you want from your organization.
Here's Fultz, following the score by Josh Richardson. And it's Vucevic missing.
You can't look at the result of that shot. They'll take that whenever they get it.
Well, you know, I hear you. That's a good look, but when you're that wide open, I think you got to knock it down.
Well, maybe not the most well-known player in the league, but Josh Richardson has been a big source of offense, and Greggy's done it for a while now.
A bit of a specialist, but Richardson has no problem putting up and making threes.
You know, after a drought of 6 years, the Magic made the playoffs last season. Won 4 straight at the end to grab the 7th seed.
Now here's Fultz to the paint. Gordon. Vucevic trying to get open. It's good from Gordon on the assist from Fultz.
Gordon is one of those guys who loves physical contact. He's really skilled at finishing over difficult defense.
Richardson against Fournier. The baseline J. And Vucevic pulls it down. Clark, you look at Orlando's breakout season. They won 42 games after winning just 25 the season before.
And you look at the roster, lots of length. And you really have to love their young newcomers.
Oh! Time out. That's how you attack. Wow.
Oh, man. my. Really can't let Simmons get going off of these dunks. I mean, his confidence just rises when he slams it down like that.
And it'll be Orlando with their first time out of the game right here.
Well, all, you look at the career of Tobias Harris, and boy, he's bounced around a bit. Has never slowed his development or production, though. You put him anywhere, and he'll find a way to help his team.
So a new group on the floor for Orlando. Then for the 76ers, Jonah Bolden comes in for Al Horford. And it's Zaire Smith in for Josh Richardson. Augustine finds Bamba. The Magic need to get a shot off here. The Magic again can't hit. And with Harris, he's been moved so many times. You know what, Greg? You forget he's still quite young.
Yeah, I mean, he really is just starting to enter what should be the prime of his career. Has improved every offseason and is a great rebounder and scorer.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
Augustine, that's good.
You know, it's obvious and easy to talk about Augustine's speed. He's a speed merchant, but how about his creativity there?
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And the 76ers making a change here. O'Quinn's checked in. Now here is Augustine. 104 left here in the first quarter. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And, you know, the speedy Augustine is really an excellent teammate and a dependable role player, a veteran presence who can really stroke it.
The Magic shooting their second and third free throws tonight. A free throw drops for Augustine. Richardson, he's checked in for the 76ers. Both shots good from the stripe.
And so much for the Sixers is predicated on Joel Embiid's health. Do they need to restrict his minutes in the regular season to keep him ready for that playoff run?
Well, you know, we've had all of this conversation about load management and managing the minutes of your key players, and Embiid, with his injury history, would certainly be a candidate for that. But we also saw what the Raptors did last season with Kawhi Leonard, so maybe the Sixers take a page out of the Raptors book in that regard.
Here's Carter Williams. No good that time, so Philadelphia will take it the other way. Richardson outside. Another miss by Philadelphia. The Magic trailed by 7. And here is Carter Williams. No points in the game yet for him. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. And stolen by Richardson. Pulls up. And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. The game is evolving, and Al Horford has changed his game along with it.
It never occurred to me that I'd be shooting threes at this rate and doing some of the things that I'm doing, but it's just...
And give Horford credit. He adjusted with the times. He didn't stay set, Greg, in his ways.
Yeah, he was always a great mid-range shooter, and he's proven to be a legitimate threat from deep.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And what stands out to you guys from the 76ers in this one?
Yeah, in that first period, they looked to push in transition at every opportunity.
Yeah, I like the way they play. They're looking to get up and down the court every time. Racehorse basketball here tonight. Strap it up. Don't look down. You'll miss something.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade as the second quarter gets going. Taking a look at the 76ers. Smith and Harris are out on the wings. Scott is out there with Kyle O'Quinn, and it's Richardson in at the 1. That free throw good from Ross. And the 6'7" swingman, Terrence Ross, the number 8 pick out of Washington.
Well, you know, the shooting and leaping ability of Ross, phenomenal. I mean, I think the defensive end is where he can solidify his game and really improve. He's got all the tools, though, to be an excellent two-way player.
Richardson, the bounce pass. Knocks it loose. It's stolen by Carter Williams. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Take a look at the NBA. Who's the best, you think, Clark, at controlling the defensive glass, getting the missed most shots and getting their offense back in gear?
Yeah, I think even though he's a bit undersized, he does a great job. Draymond Green, not only does he rebound the ball defensively, but he also can ignite the break because of his ball handling and passing ability. Giannis Antetokounmpo does a great job on the defensive backboards, as does Joel Embiid.
Gordon's checked in for Al-Farouq Aminu. Gordon against Richardson. Here's Scott. It's hauled in by Gordon. And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for Orlando. They haven't allowed any points in the second quarter. The pass to Ross. And here is Bamba. 5 on the clock. From past the arc. A shot missing. And it's Philadelphia the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. Smith against Carter Williams. Richardson outside. The dish to Scott. On the wing, Harris. Over Ross. A nice shot by Harris.
Well, he's an elite shooter with a lot of sweet spots. Defenses have to mark and keep an eye on Harris from mid-range.
Augustine passes to Carter Williams. Some nice ball movement by the Magic. Releases from 15 and misses it off the right side of the rim.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throw.
76ers have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
The first free throw is good.
And a not-so-bright spot for the Magic last season. Too many mistakes.
Well, that comes with a young roster, guys. You know that. There's no way to gain experience other than through time and repetition. These guys are still learning, refining their games. But I think the trade-off is worth it because the future is really bright.
Scott hits them both. The Magic trail by 8. Fultz looking around. Shoots from 14. Another miss by Orlando.
And they continue to control the glass.
Guys, I think they've simply been the more physical team, and that's why they're ahead.
Smith outside. Back to Horford. Shot clock at 5. Shoots over Fournier. They get the rebound. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
Embiid is unstoppable, just too strong for the defense, no matter what they throw at him. You know, guys, it's not surprising to hear that Joel Embiid gets a lot of inspiration from Hall of Famer Hakeem Olajuwon. Both came to the game late. Both represent the continent of Africa. And Embiid really kind of modeled his game after Hakeem, and that's a heck of a model.
Jonah Bolden's checked in for Philadelphia. The free throw drops for Embiid. And when he first came to America, what a great story this. Embiid's coach in Cameroon sent him a DVD of Hakeem's highlights.
And that was a good start for Embiid, and good work by you, Kevin, to dig up that factoid. Very nicely done. But you're right, Embiid said he watched that tape every day for 3 years, and you can see evidence of him watching that tape and how he plays.
And the shot goes in. Fultz has got his second basket of the game.
And I love the energy Fultz plays with, Kevin. I mean, when he's deep in the paint, he's really comfortable going up to shoot it.
Now here's Simmons, guarded closer, and then jammed down as he goes right over Nikola Vucevic.
And this sort of awesome dunk is one of the reasons this team is in charge of this game.
There's a swagger out there. You can see it on the court that they possess and are not afraid to show it either.
Boy, and I used to love going up and jamming it down like that guy. Could have been much better defense. I mean, you can't give this guy any room to operate.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the Magic broke a 6-season playoff drought. Nick Vucevic was the franchise's first All-Star in 7 seasons. It's been a long rebuild from the Dwight Howard era. We'll see where the team goes from here, but Kevin, they're happy to just be playing games that matter night in and night out.
All right, thank you very much, David. Outside Gordon. Now here's Fultz, guarded by Simmons, and the rejection by Embiid.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Pass to Isaac. Outside Fournier. Three-pointer. Horford with the rebound. The 76ers leading by 10. Here's Simmons.
Simmons is driving inside. I'm telling you, he's going to sky up for the flush. Getting to the bucket in no time.
Now here's Fultz, guarded by Simmons. Fultz kicks to Fournier. Here's Vucevic. Good D by Embiid.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
And you know what, guys? That will pump him up because he takes a ton of pride in what he does on defense.
Here's Fultz. Dishes to Vucevic. The basket good off the assist from Fultz.
Well, I tell you what, Fultz does a nice job with the pocket passes, threading the needle out of the pick and roll. That's a tough cover when you're on defense.
And so it's the Philadelphia 76ers with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading in.
Kevin, thanks.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back to 2K Sports, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Let's talk about that first half. From the get-go, it was Philadelphia who came out strong. They put together the kind of powerful run that every team would love to have, 10-2 off the tip. That lead was whittled down by the end of the quarter, leaving them up by 5 after... That's all for now. 6...
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. Joel Embiid has been sensational.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
And you know what? I'll be interested to see just how much he's got left in the tank. That first half had to take a lot out of it.
At the 4 and the 5, we have Gordon and Vucevic. Fultz is out there with Evan Fournier, and it's Isaac in at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic. Fultz kicks to Gordon. Back to Fultz. Outside Gordon. Lets it go with the 3. And Philadelphia grabs the miss.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Horford, good.
A remarkable interior presence. Horford's a veteran who still has those polished post moves. And the size of the Sixers can present matchup problems for opposing teams.
Well, you think about the two critical positions, a 6'10 point guard and a 7'2 center, and both are uber talented. That's a huge advantage, a unique advantage for Philadelphia.
And stolen by Fournier. No good there, and that would have cut it to single digits. Philadelphia leading by 11. Outside, Simmons. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
So far, so good to begin this half. They're 3 for 3. Perfect.
Fultz with the ball. Outside, Fournier. He dishes it to Gordon. Clock at 6. Fultz with the ball. Working on Horford. Fultz, no good.
Far from an ideal start here. I mean, this half just 1 for 4 so far.
Fournier against Richardson. Pass to Simmons. Harris outside. From deep three-point range, a new 14 for the 76ers. And the shot goes down.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
Now here's Fultz. He's tightly guarded. Teardrop shot, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. That one on Horford. And the number 1 pick in 2017, Markelle Fultz out of Washington. 6'4". Clark, you think he's more of a point guard or a 2?
Well, you know, at Washington, Kevin, I thought he showed the ability to score and assist at a high level. Coming out of college, I thought he had a chance to be really dynamic in both areas. Time will tell if that's the case, but I think playing the point could take some of the pressure off of his shot
Take a break.
as he regains
break.
confidence in that part of his game.
That free throw, no good. Clark, it seems that guards are rebounding now more than ever. What do you make of that trend?
You know what, Kevin? I think it's a function of how the game is played. More and more teams play small ball, where they really don't have a big guy out there or a traditional center out there. You may have guards and wings, and oftentimes your tallest guy might be 6'8". So it makes it important for guards and everybody to rebound the ball. So I think you see more guards getting more rebounds because of teams playing small ball as a function of the three-point shot's importance in the game.
And it's Harris off the drive.
Guys, that's all athleticism and timing. Bamba, a terrific shot blocker because he uses the physical tools he has quite well.
Defensive breakdown there, no doubt about it. I mean, he's a guy you have to be focused on defensively.
Pass to Harris. Scott dishes to Harris. And slam dunk by Harris.
You know, we talk a lot about athleticism, guys. It's important. And right there, Harris used his well to create for himself.
Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down to 12 on the bucket from Augustine.
I like the play call. Very solid, making perfect use of the pick to get a great look.
Here's Simmons, and Simmons slams it in.
When he's sprinting down the court like that to the basket, Simmons is virtually impossible to stop.
Augustine passes to Fultz. Now Ross. Vucevic trying to get open. Ross, that's good. Ross has got 5.
And that's a case where this deceptive strength that Ross has helps him score over the defense. You can't afford to take this guy lightly.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
And you look out there at the Magic, one of the taller teams in our league.
And, you know, that's a philosophical bent for the front office. They want long, athletic players. Draft guys with great length and then develop their strength and skill level. And I actually kind of like that approach. Have a philosophy, stick to it, and be true to it.
Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Aminu comes in for Nikola Vucevic. And it's Carter Williams in for Fultz. Jonah Bolden's checked in for Philadelphia. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That's on Al-Farouq Aminu. And a chance to catch up on some numbers here. The hustle stats for Philadelphia.
They really haven't backed away from running and gunning at any point, but their legs still look fresh.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
And the first one drops.
And, you know, questions for the Sixers about fit between their two young stars in Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons are legitimate questions, because when young players are that talented, it's sometimes hard for them to sacrifice their own games for the good of the team.
Augustine against Simmons. Ross finds Bamba. A floater, got a piece of it. Harris against Aminu. Bamba with the block.
You know, he just has not been himself this period. Just too inconsistent up and down at the offensive end.
Simmons against Augustine. And then Simmons slams it in.
Boy, never shy about getting to that rack. Simmons so aggressive playing downhill. Nice dunk there.
Augustine up top. Guarded by Simmons. And Augustine kicks to Ross. Over Harris. The Magic again can't hit.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team. Yeah, the defender all over him.
Greg, he got him good there. I mean, that's why the shot was so far off.
76ers have been excellent at the free throw line here today. A flawless 6 for 6. He's off on the first. Evan Fournier's checked in for Carter Williams. The 76ers also with a sub. Horford's checked in. And he sinks the second. The Magic trail by 17. Fournier, he's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. From deep. And the last second attempt doesn't fall. And so it's Philadelphia out in front by 17 points at the end of the quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. Back to the action after this word. And we reach the fourth quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. Well, Orlando shooting terribly up to this point, just 30%. Some ramshackle offense play there. So on the floor for Philadelphia. In the backcourt, Simmons and Richardson. Then there's Harris. Then there's Horford. And it's Bolden in at the four-man position.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Guys, that's putting it mildly. I mean, they've been absolutely dominant.
And so it's Augustine who will bring it up for the Magic. 17-point game. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. That that one on Harris.
I'd like to see Fournier drawing contact on his shots. I mean, he's just a crafty player who gives defenses a lot of problems.
A little bit of a down season for Evan Fournier in 2018-19.
Yeah, it was, Kevin. I mean, he got the same minutes, but his percentages were down. He's out there for his offense, so he's got to be more efficient going forward.
Shooting 2.
And that one falls for Fournier. Mark, you were such a terrific athlete growing up, and it must be fun for you watching your kids and soon your grandkids go through their athletic journeys.
It really is one of the great blessings and treats of my life to see our kids grow and develop as people, but also to enjoy different sports. Our boys played basketball and soccer, and our daughter played volleyball, all played in college at some level. And so it is great. Anytime you see your kids find their lane, enjoy running in it, and do well in that lane, it's joy indescribable.
Aminu against Richardson. Back to Horford. Just 5 to shoot. And there's the call on Joel Embiid. That is his first foul of the game. The Magic trail by 15. Here's Augustine. Now the pass to Gordon. A little over a minute of the fourth quarter gone right now. A shot off that time. Passes to Bolden. Kicks it to Horford. Pass to Simmons. Fires the 3. They grab their own miss. And the basket by Horford.
How frustrating for the defense. You get the stop, but then fail to block out.
Well, you know, that's the way it's going to be for them today, fellas. Can't sustain any momentum.
Outside Fournier. From 15 feet away, and it's Joel Embiid with the rebound. Embiid's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Simmons looking it over. Pass to Horford. Shoots over Isaac. Horford, no luck.
Right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone. And every miss finds its way to his hands. Well, what an impressive performance.
Tell you what, those are crazy numbers, guys. I mean, believe me, I was a good rebounder in my day. It is not easy to corral that many boards in one night.
Now a timeout called by Orlando. And you look at Joel Embiid, Clark, for a player standing 7'2", probably close to 300 pounds. You've got to be impressed with how well he moves out there.
And, Kevin, that's the first and most eye-catching thing about him when I watch him, is how nimble he is for his size. And you notice it at the offensive end because he's got great skills and footwork, but defensively, he doesn't pick up a lot of cheap fouls despite having the primary role of rim protector for his team.
Markelle Fultz comes in for DJ Augustine. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Mike Scott's checked in for Jonah Bolden. Fournier dishes to Vucevic. Now here's Fultz. Guarded by Simmons. The pass to Gordon. Now here's Fultz. Wow, through the contact, and that three almost went in, so he'll go to the line for 3 free throws.
Three shots. 3 shots.
That free throw missing.
Well, I look at Fultz, and he has perennial all-star written all over him. A fantastic playmaker who's really got a ready-made skill set for the NBA.
And he's good on the second. And he nails the third.
And you talk about the best defensive head coaches in the league. Steve Clifford has to be on that short list.
I would agree with you, partner. I mean, his teams play hard, they play smart, they play with discipline, and that usually is a reflection of the coach, and a good one.
Richardson, no luck. The Magic trail by 17. On pass to Gordon, and it's Gordon finishing it off.
And when Gordon is launched and in the air like that, he's a mesmerizing guy to keep an eye on and just get out of the way.
Richardson kicks to Simmons. They double up Simmons. Scott. And it's Scott with the jam.
This guy is a high flyer. I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Now, here's Fultz. Guarded by Simmons. Here's Gordon. And it's sent back by Horford. And here is Simmons. Passes it to Horford. There's 1:54 left here in the fourth quarter. Richardson against Gordon. Richardson, no luck. The Magic trail by 17. Isaac with the ball. Now Fultz. Away and stolen by Horford.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for the 76ers.
Two great rebounding teams.
And these guys worked just a little bit harder tonight, and that was the edge they needed.
And guys, one of the steady and outstanding players putting in another impressive performance. It was a big-time outing for Ben Simmons.
There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Sinks the three-pointer.
And Fournier has been an absolutely lights-out long-distance shooter. Every season he's been in the league.
There's 47 seconds left in the game. Here's Scott. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
Mike Scott. 2 shots.
First free throw is good. So a new group on the floor for Orlando. Scott hits them both. 40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Carter Williams feeling it out a bit. This one for 3. And it's a 1-2 missing.
You know, defensively, you just can't afford to give him that much room. They're fortunate that he missed that one.
Thibault, the pass to Ennis. to the wing on the left. Here's Neto. Carter Williams covering. The dish now to Ennis. 20 feet out. Another miss by Philadelphia. So it's Philadelphia winning this one easily. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
And a chance now to send